Good morning, everyone, and good morning to you, sir, Mr. John Lloyd Cruda. I am Ray Andy Barrete, PS Ed Filipino, and a third year college here in PIT International College. And my topic is all about gender and violence. Okay, let's proceed to the introduction of the gender and violence. First, gender-based violence is violence directed against a person because of that person's gender or violence that affect persons of a particular gender disproportionately. Gender-based violence can also be defined as acts or threats of sexual, physical, or psychological violence happening around us. This type of violence is due to gender norms and stereotypes. It can include verbal abuse, bullying, sexual abuse, harassment, and other types of violence. Next, dadako tayo sa definitions of gender and violence. First, the United Nations defines violence against women as any act of gender-based violence that result in or likely to result in physical, sexual, or mental harm or suffering to women, including threats of such acts, coercion, or arbitrary deprivation of liberty whether occurring in public or in private life. Second, gender-based violence is fueled in large part by inequitable gender norms. It can affect people at different points in their lives and range from intimate partner violence and sexual coercion and abuse to child marriage. Third, the most common form of violence experienced by women globally is physical violence inflicted by an intimate partner. A violence against women not only constitutes a gross violation of human rights but also has numerous social economic costs. Okay, let's proceed the types of gender based on violence. The term sexual and other forms of gender based violence comprise not only rape and attempt rape but also sexual abuse, sexual exploitation, forced early marriage, domestic violence, marital rape, trafficking, and female genital mutilation, physical violence, verbal violence, psychological violence, socioeconomic violence, domestic violence, or in intimate relationships, and harassment. Kanina siyang physical violence is true dapat bitaw ka ng kulatahon ang usa ka babae sa iyang partner. And then kaning verbal violence is true kanang istorya ra bitaw sa imuhang isig ka partner. And next, we proceed public health responsibilities to preventing violence. Role and responsibilities. First, the epidemiology of violence, the public health community has a key role. Second, evidence-based violence prevention, good scientific evidence as an essential. Kanina siya is muhatag ka sa, for example, police. Ani siya is muhatag ka og evidence haron nagpamatuod nga gikulata ka sa imuhang partner. Third, asset-based community development and international development. Fourth, primary prevention, secondary prevention, tertiary prevention of violence, mitigation and response. Next, new mental health and conflict resolution. Next, the role of public health in conflict resolution. Next, the Faculty of Public Health role as an educational body. And the last, the leadership role of public health. Okay, the first is the epidemiology of violence. So, kanina siya is, this is the public health community has a key role monitoring violence as major health threats. In England, is increasingly as part of partnership working local areas, or adopting information sharing approaches by tracking violence, particularly in adult and children, safeguarding, and in city center crime involving alcohol. Second, evidence based violence prevention. This is good scientific evidence as an essential part of a public health approach to violence prevention. There is a rich evidence base for primary prevention of violence, particularly in developed countries. This includes extensive evidence for the effectiveness of early years and young people interventions, parenting training and control of violent and addictive behaviors. Next is preventive measures analogous to the prevention of an infectious agents and addictions, and measures at different points in the life course are also important. Okay, let's proceed to the number 3, asset-based community development and international development. We need an asset based approach recognizing all the strengths and resources natural, human, educational, economic, and environmental available to a country to prove its security and health. This favors human development over preoccupation with economic growth, which may increase inequalities and fail to grow social and educational support or improve health. Fourth, primary prevention. The key role and responsibility of the public health community in this area is to prevent violence. Public health practitioners and policymakers are uniquely placed to address inequalities and root causes of conflict in local, community, and international situations. Primary prevention of conditions for violence should be our main objective. Fifth is secondary prevention and early prevention. This is where it is not possible to prevent violence. Early interventions should be undertaken to mitigate further escalation. This involves early warning and intention de escalation and conflict handling alongside effective planning. Next, the sixth, tertiary prevention of violence, mitigations, and response. Faculty of Public Health or FPH system and public health professional must be effectively mobilized in response to violence conflicts. Tertiary prevention involves response, treatment, and rehabilitation as well as reconstruction and resolution. 7. New public and mental health and conflict resolution. This is new learning from brain science, psychology, and public mental health fields needs to be applied in developing violence prevention strategies. Humanitarian aid and conflict resolution. Discussion of power differences is important and can be part of recognizing our common human and civil rights. And last is number 8, the role of public health in conflict resolution. Public health is neutral territory in which enemies can come together. As a professional body with our respective membership throughout the world, our first response to violence conflict should be behave as honest broker. We should seek to bring together public health specialists on different sides of a conflict to create a dialogue aimed to influencing peaceful resolution and reapproachment. Thank you for listening to my report. And again, my name is Ray Andy Barrete, PSED Filipino, and my topic is all about the gender and violence. And I will pass the continuation of my partner with Princess Al Caduyac. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I am Princess El Caduyac. I will be continue the discussion of Rayan Barrete. 9. The Faculty of Public Health role as an educational body. FPH will review educational materials on violence for our curriculum and look to accredit relevant interdisciplinary resources and courses on violence as a public health problem. FPH special interest groups are encouraged to take forward the prevention agenda from local to international levels. Our Global Health Committee will play a role in development ethics and values work will be vital. And the 10 is the leadership role of public health. FPH professionals need to take up leadership roles in prevention, control, and response to violence at local, national, and international level. Public health professionals should be actively involved in the measurement and surveillance of all forms of violence, in advocating for effective interventions and monitoring of outcomes in partnerships to promote safeguarding and crime and disorder. Next is role of social media to prevent violence. The use of social media tools such as Facebook, YouTube, and blogging sites have become part of our daily lives of millions of people in Asia. As of June 2012, Asia has more than 1,076,000 internet users, more than any other region of the world, and accounts for 45% of internet users worldwide. While internet penetration rates are only 28%, Asia, particularly amongst youth, is the world's fastest growing and largest segment of social network users in the world. Around the globe, social media tools have helped fuel social movements. Social media has been shown to strengthen social actors' ability to challenge and change power relations in society, providing platforms for debate, reflection, influencing, and mobilizing people. Role of media. Primary prevention of violence against women describes all efforts to stop violence before it starts. Prevention focuses on identifying and addressing underlying causes of violence to minimize the chance that violence happens in the first place. Next is role of family member to prevent domestic violence in women. First is avoid dowry system or child marriage. Second, promote women education and empowerment. Third, create safe, respectful, lovely, caring, and open environment at home. And fourth, can change bad perception on gender role. And the last one is equal distribution of economic and decision-making power. Next is rules of family to prevent domestic violence in children. First one is provide safe and secure home environment. The second is adults must listen to them, good believe them, and shelter them. Third, provide a sense of routine and normal. Fourth, provide support services to meet their needs. And the fifth is to give lesson on violence is wrong and learn non-violent methods of resolving conflicts adults to speak and break the silence. And the last one is role of family on consequences of violence. First is provide the healthcare services, actively identify challenges and solve problems associated with their lines. Second, monitoring physical indicators. Third, managing complex medication regimens. Fourth, maintaining proper levels of nutrition, diet, and exercise. And fifth, adjusting to the psychological and social demands, including difficult lifestyle adjustments. And the sixth is engaging in effective interaction with healthcare providers. And the 7 is keep rehabilitation center if needed. 8 is promote to adopt healthy lifestyle. And the 9, proper counseling for psychological support. And 10, support and care. And the last one is create open and friendly environment at home. Thank you for listening for my report, our report.